Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sage Business Cloud Accounting Software online lecture series. This session, we will start banking module. From banking module, you can create bank accounts. You can do payments. You can enter receipts. You can enter or you can do your bank reconciliation. You can generate reports. And from special, you can adjust bank opening balances. Let's start with add bank or credit card. Go to banking, click add a bank or credit card. This screen, we can create our bank accounts, petty cash accounts. If you want to maintain PD checks, you can create PD checks account. And if you want, you can add your credit card. First, you can enter your bank account name. Then you can create different categories. You can create current account, fixed deposit, PD checks, petty cash, savings account, like that. You can categorize your bank account. After you categorize, when you are generating reports, you can filter by category. Next, default payment method. You can select one of the options in these 4 options: cash, check, credit card, or EFT. Next, you can enter your bank account, bank name, account number, branch name, and branch code. This active tick box, if you tick this tick box, your bank account is active. And if you tick this default tick box, when you enter any banking transaction, this bank account will display as default bank account. Okay, we will, I'll show you that default bank account and default payment method. Now, in this system, my default bank account is this Sampath Bank Rupee account, default account, and default payment method is check. Now, if I enter any transaction, banking transaction, we'll enter customer receipt. Now, this Sampath account will display as default bank account, and default payment method is check. Okay, because we have selected default payment method as check, and we have ticked default bank account. Okay. So if you set this account as default bank account, when you create any bank transaction, it will display as default bank account. However, when you are entering transaction time, you can edit this bank account or payment method. Okay, like that, you can enter these details and you can save. In addition to that, if you want to add any documents, or if you want to attach any documents, or if you want to add any notes, you can add here. You can attach documents by clicking this file mark. After enter these details, you can save this bank account. I'll open a bank account with transactions. After you enter transactions for this bank account, from activity, you can view your opening balance, customer receipt values, total payments, account receipts, account payments, trans out, trans in, VAT payment, VAT refund, and this bank account balance. If you want to view details, by clicking this detail button, you can view details. Like that, you can create bank account. And same way, if you want, you can create petty cash account. You can enter petty cash here, and you can save. Okay, now in practical situation, sometimes in same bank you may have different accounts. In that case, you can use this. Now for an example, if you have two bank accounts in Sampath Bank, you can enter Sampath 1, or you can enter account number like that. You can enter bank account name. The main purpose of this bank account name is you can identify or you can drop down and you can select which bank you are going to which bank account you are going to enter the transaction. Okay, and when you are or when you are creating bank accounts, this bank account name and bank name is compulsory. Without bank name you cannot save. Therefore, when you are creating bank accounts, you need to enter this bank account name and bank name. And if you are maintaining PD checks, now sometimes you will accept customers post-dated checks. And if you want to maintain that, and if you want to follow up that PD checks, you can create different bank account for maintain PD checks. So in that case, you can create PD checks account, and all PD checks or post-dated checks when you are receiving, you can transfer to that account. And after that PD check realize, you can transfer PD checks from your PD check account to bank account. Okay. After you create your bank accounts, you can view your list of bank accounts. You can view name, bank account name, bank name, account number, branch name, branch code, balance, active or inactive, or default account. And this grid you can customize from here. And if you have activated your multi-currency module, you can activate your multi-currency module from administration, my profile, upgrade. You can enter one in multi-currency and click next, and you can activate your multi-currency module. After you create your multi-currency module, you can create foreign currency bank accounts. Okay, from here you can select your currency, and you can create your foreign currency bank accounts. Now, if you have any foreign currency bank accounts, the list will display balance in custom bank account currency. Next, bank and credit card categories. Now from here, you can create your bank and credit card categories. Now, if you have current account, savings account, fixed deposit, like that, account categories, you can add categories from here. By clicking add category, you can add your bank account category and save. Next, quick entry rules. Now, from here, you can add quick entry rule, and when you enter transactions, banking transaction, the details will display here. Now, for an example, if you enter this code, now from quick entry rules, you can enter payee name Then after that, other details will fill from the system. So you can set your quick entry role from here. You can set pay name, and if this pay name, when you enter this pay name, you can instruct to system what are the description should be, and account type should be, selection, and tax code. So you can set your quick entry roles here. After that, when you enter transaction, system will display this account description, account, and GL account code. Or you can set customer, supplier, account, these types, and you can select this selection. Okay. Here's create new quick entry role. For now, here we have a BC. BC has set description to bank charges, and account type set as account, and selection as bank charges, and tax rate set as 8%. We will go to banking transaction and we will check this. Go to banking, transactions, banking. Okay, type BC here. When you type BC here and move to next text box, system will fill other details, the description, select type, then selection, tax rate, fill from the system. Okay, we will enter again. We'll enter BC and go to next step. Then system will fill bank charges, bank GL account, select as bank charges, and you can enter the amount and you can save this transaction. Next, we'll enter another one, CEB. Description set to electricity. From selection, system has selected electricity expense. You can enter payment amount and you can save this transaction. Like that, you can set okay, like this. You can set a quick entry rule. Refresh this tab. We'll enter select here. Okay, like this, system will fill these details. From setting a quick entry rule, you can save your data entry time. Next, bank statement mapping rule. Now, from here, you can, from the system, you can import your bank statement. Okay. when you are importing your bank statement, system will search this code. Okay, now if you enter any code here, when you import the bank statement, system will search for this code or this wordings. System will search. After that, system will fill other details. System will fill type, selection, pay name, accounting, display description. Those details will fill from the system. Okay, now you can set bank statement mapping rule here. And after that, when you are importing your bank statement, you can search this wording, and according to that, system will update this customer or supplier transaction. Now, for an example, you may have apartment complex. Okay, in that apartment complex, you may charge management fee, sinking fund, other utilities, electricity, water bills. You will charge. Now, when your apartment owner or tenant are paying their bills to the bank, they can mention their apartment name. Okay? Now, for an example, Mr. Pereira in B001 apartment, when he pay bills, he will mention B001 as his apartment number. Now, when you import your bank statement, this wording will be available. Okay, so when you import your bank statement, system will check or system will search these wordings, and according to this, system will update the that customer transaction. Okay, we'll import one bank statement. Now you can import bank statement by clicking bank statement, import bank statement, and you can select CSV file format, and you can import. Okay, now before we import, we will export one sample. Or you can download your bank statement sample from this by clicking how do I set up a CSV file, and from here you can download an example. Okay, now we have download one example, and we will fill these details and import. First, I'll change the date. After that, I'll change the description. I'll enter B0101 as description and enter amount. Okay, now I have entered 2 lines. Save and close. Okay, now after that I'll go to banking, transaction banking. Click this import bank statement. Select CSV as import file type, and you can import your bank statement. Select the CSV file and click import file. Okay, now you can see your CSV file import completed successfully. 2 rows successfully import. You can see now in our statement we have entered transaction date and this description and amount only. However, system has selected that pay name, or system entered pay name, description, and system has changed this type to custom. Okay, like that you can import your bank statement, and you can set this bank statement mapping rule, and after that system will automatically select the correct customer or customer supplier account, and system will update the details. Okay, we will enter another statement. Go to banking transaction, click import bank statement, select CSV as import file type, browse and select your CSV file, click import file. Now you can see 2 rows successfully imported. Yes, system has imported this transaction. However, now sometimes if you have similar kind of transactions, it will display as duplicate found. Okay. Now previously also I have imported this telephone bill accounting software, those transactions. Therefore, here also 5,000 and 10,000 similar amounts. Therefore, system will think this is a duplicate transaction. Therefore, it will display as duplicate found. Now, if you want you can keep this transaction. Okay, now it's a similar amount, same amount, and same date. Therefore, system will think that this is a duplicate transaction. Now, if you want to keep the transaction, by clicking this keep transaction, you can keep the transaction. After you enter these details, you can save changes. Okay. Now, when you enter transaction, the font color will be blue. Blue color. After you save changes, this color will change to black. Okay, like that, you can create these quick entry rules and bank statement mapping rules. Right. Next, we will move to banking transactions. You can go to banking transactions and click banking. From here, you can enter customer receipts, supplier payments, account payments, bank account transaction like fund transfers and tax payments. You can enter from here. Now you can enter customer receipts from customer module, and you can enter supplier payments from supplier module. In addition to that, you can enter transaction in banking module. Okay, now from here you can enter the date. You can enter date, pay name, description. From type, you can select account, customer, supplier, transfer, tax. Now, if you enter any GL account transaction, such as now if you want to enter bank charges without selecting any customer or supplier, you can directly enter to GL account. So if you want to select in GL account, you can select this account and you can select the GL account. Now, if you are paying bank charges, you can enter that amount under spent. Now, if you have any reference in bank statement, you can enter that reference. And if taxes available, you can select tax and you can save. In addition to that, if you want to assign any analysis code, if you want to link any analysis code, from here you can link your analysis code. Okay, in your screen, if analysis code is not available, you can click this gear button, click customize grid, and you can tick these columns, and you can save. After that, your analysis code will be displayed. Okay, next, if you want to enter customer receipt, you can select customer as type, and from selection, you can select your customer. If you are receiving money, you can enter under received. If you want to pay to your supplier, you can select supplier and you can select supplier name. Enter your payment amount under spend column. And if you want to enter any fund transfer, you can select transfer here. After you select transfer, you can select your other bank accounts. Like this, you can enter account payments, customer receipts, supplier payments, fund transfers. And if you want to pay any taxes, you can select this tax, and you can select the tax payment period and you can pay. Okay. Like that, you can enter banking transactions. Okay. Next, we will discuss advanced features in this banking module. Now, sometimes from one payment, you will pay for different GL accounts of different suppliers. Okay. In that case, you can split your transaction. Now we will enter one transaction. Now from this payment, you'll pay 10,000 and you can click this split button. From here, you can select your GL accounts. Okay, we will pay 3,000 for computer expenses. And advertising 2,500, advertising electricity expenses 4,500. Okay, like that we can enter transaction, or we can split this payment and you can see. Okay, in one payment you can enter, you can select different GL accounts. Now it will not display type or selection, it will display as split, and you can view transaction from here. Now when you enter transaction, you can view split total, payment total. Now if you enter 10,000 here, split total 10,000, remainder 15,000, payment total 25,000. So when you save this transaction, this remainder should be 0. Okay, now if it is not 0, you cannot save. Okay, now remainder is 0, you can save. Like that, you can enter split transactions. Next, you can allocate your transaction. Now, when you enter customer receipt, you can allocate your receipt to your outstanding invoices by clicking this allocate button. You can allocate to your invoices. Okay, now you can select unpaid invoices here, and you can tick in. It will allocate that receipt amount to this invoice. Save. Right, like that, you can allocate your receipts. Okay, same way you can allocate your supplier invoices also. You can allocate and save. And you can click this arrow, and you can enter that if you are giving any discount or if you are receiving any discount, you can enter a discount. You can select payment method, analysis codes. If you have any projects, you can select projects, and you can allocate your invoices. And if you want to attach any documents, you can attach from here by clicking this attachment button. And you can set banks mapping rule here. Okay. Like that, you can enter banking transactions. And if you want to delete or edit any transaction, you can tick this option. Now there are buttons here. If you tick any transaction, these buttons will activate. And if you want to review, you can review this transaction. Now there are actually three tabs here. Save changes, mark selected as reviewed, mark all as reviewed. Now you can enter, or your assistant can enter these transactions. After that, you can check these transactions, and you can review this transaction. Okay. Now if you save this transaction, it will save, and if you reviewed, that means you have checked this transaction. Okay. After you review these transactions, it will move to this review transactions. This is new transactions, review transaction. Now, if a company has two persons in that accounts department, that one employee can enter transaction, and higher level person can check those transactions and review the transaction. So you can tick this transaction and mark as reviewed, or if you want to delete, you can delete this transaction. Now previously we have seen some duplicate transaction. You can tick that transactions, and if you want to keep duplicates, you can keep duplicates. And if you want to edit any batch, edit, selecting more than one transaction, you can edit. Okay, now we have selected 3 transactions, and when I change this, system will change all selected transaction. Okay, we'll take another one. I'll change this type to account. Then all 4 transaction type will change to account. Okay, like that, you can do batch editing. Now, if you have entered transaction, and by mistake you have selected different GL account or different type, in that case you can select that all transactions, and at once you can change this selection and type. Okay, and tax rates. After you edit this transaction, you can save. And also you can import your bank statement, and you can export this transaction to CSV file. And here system will display bank balance and system will display number of transactions to review. We have 25 transactions to review. Therefore, system will display 25 transactions to be reviewed. Okay. After you review transaction, you can view reviewed transactions from this reviewed transaction tab. If you want to search any transaction, you can search from here. Okay, and now if you have any foreign customers, you can select that foreign customer. After that, system will display that customer's currency and exchange rate. Okay, you can select this, or if you want, you can change this bank rates or exchange rate. And if you enter this foreign customer transaction, system will calculate the exchange rate and system will update the transaction amount. Now, if the customer paid in customer's currency, system will take that exchange rate and it will convert to home currency. Okay, like that, you can enter banking transactions. You can enter number of transactions here. Okay, like that, you can enter banking transaction. And if you enter transaction here, system will update the balance. Okay, next we will do bank reconciliation. You can do bank reconciliation from the system. Go to banking, transactions, select reconcile bank and credit cards. You can select the bank account and system will display bank balance. You can enter statement balance here. If you have any credit balance, you can enter that amount. And if you have credit debit balance, you can enter amount with the minus sign. Okay. After that, you can select bank reconciliation period from date to to date. And if transactions available, you can tick here. Then system will display reconciliation amounts. Reconcile previously, reconcile now, reconcile total, and difference. Now, if you correctly done this bank reconciliation, this difference should be 0. Okay, like that, you can tick or you can reconcile your bank accounts. After you complete the reconciliation, you can print this bank reconciliation and you can save. Now, when you are doing your bank reconciliation, sometimes you will complete a few transactions and you can save. After that, when you again do this reconciliation, previously reconciled transactions will not display. And if you want to view that previously reconciled transactions, you can tick this option. Then system will display previously reconciled transactions. If you want to view only pending transaction, you can untick this tick box. If you want to view previously reconciled transactions in this period, you can tick this option. Okay, next we will move to bank reports. Now from this report, you can view list of bank and credit cards. You can select your bank accounts, or you can select your all bank accounts. You can select active, inactive bank accounts. By category, you can select your bank categories and click view report. From this report, you can view bank account name, category, active, description, and bank account balance. If you have foreign bank accounts, you can view balance in that foreign currency. Next, bank and credit card transactions. Now, if you want to view bank account transactions, you can use this report. First, you need to select the date range. You can select monthly, quarterly, yearly, month to date, quarter to date, year to date, life to date, custom to date, last month, last quarter, last year. Or if you want to view particular date range, you can select custom dates and you can select from date and to date. And if you want to view all transactions, you can select all. You can select a particular bank account, or you can select all bank accounts. And from category, you can select your bank account categories. From status, you can select active accounts, inactive accounts, or both account. From transaction types, you can select account payment, account receipt, customer receipt, opening balance, supplier payment, tax payment, tax refund, transfer in, and transfer out. If you don't select any transaction type, system will display all transactions. And if you want to view transactions in for that bank's currency, you can tick this use foreign currency tick box. After that, click view report. You can view bank account transaction. All transactions grouped by bank, and you can view opening balance, transactions. You can view debit transaction, credit transaction, and balance. And you can view closing balance and movement for the period. Now all transaction, that transaction you can view transaction date, payee name, description, reference, transaction type, account or customer or supplier, debit amount, credit amount, and balance. If you untick this foreign currency tick box, you can view grand total. Okay, you can, if you untick this use foreign currency tick box, you can view grand total. And you can export these reports to PDF, Excel, or CSV file. You can print this report and you can email. And if you want to drill down this transaction by clicking this transaction, you can view the original transaction. Next, bank and credit card transactions. So, cash movement. Now from this report, you can view your cash movement. You can select bank account. You can select bank account categories. From report options, you can select the date range and click view report. You can view bank account, balance brought forward, cash received, cash paid out, total transfers, and balance carry forward. Okay, each bank, this monthly transactions or monthly cash movement, you can view. Next, cash flow report. From here, you can select date range and you can group by. You can select bank accounts. You can select bank account categories, and from status, you can select active, inactive, both status. And if you want to include bank transfers, you can take this option. And from style, you can select summary or detail. You'll select summary report and view. Okay, now this is summary format. If you select detail, you can view each category transaction. Now in summary report, you can view customer receipts, account receipts, supplier payment, account payment, tax payment, like that. And in some detail report, you can view each account receipt detail, GL account wise, you can view. Okay? And also account payment also, you can view account wise. Okay? And you can view inflows, outflows, and net money in out. Okay, if it is inflow, it will display in blue color, outflow in red color, and if it is a net money out, it will in red color. You can select bank account and can view these transactions. And if you want, you can group by this report. Now, if you select yearly, or if you select all, you can group by yearly. Each year, cash inflow, outflow, you can view. If you select yearly, you can group by month or quarter. Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, and total. You can group by monthly. And if you select quarterly here, you can group by month. Okay, like that, you can generate your cash flow report. Next, we will move to this special option. Now, when you create or when you are implementing your system, you can enter your bank account balance. However, later you will find that entered bank opening balance is incorrect. In that case, you can use this special adjust bank and credit card opening balance, and you can edit your bank account balance. Okay, go to banking, special, select adjust bank and credit card opening balances. Select your bank account. If bank account has any balance, system will display current opening balance. And if you want to change the opening balance, you can enter the new opening balance and you can enter reason. And you can save. Without reason, you cannot save this adjustment. Therefore, you need to enter reason why you are changing this bank opening balance. Okay. After that, you can save. Then bank opening balance will update. Like that, you can adjust your bank and credit card opening balances. Go to banking, select special, select adjust bank and credit card opening balances. Select your bank account. You want to change the opening balance. Enter new opening balance. Enter reason and save. Okay, now we have completed banking module. Next session, we will discuss accounts module. Okay, thank you very much for your participation. Have a pleasant evening.